Hello, this is my review of Alan Wake. Now, I know you have probably seen plenty of reviews for the game already, but I wanted to get my own opinion out there so you could see what a normal gamer thought of it. Also, this review will literally just be this shot of the box, with me talking because I have no idea about all this editing stuff. Alright, so Alan Wake is described as a psychological action thriller and is brought to you by Remedy, the same guys that made you the Max Payne series. Alan Wake follows the story of Alan Wake, a writer who has been suffering with writer's block for 2 years and decides to come to the sleepy American North Pacific town of Bright Falls with his wife Alice to get away from it all. Soon after arriving, Alice disappears and Alan Wake is suddenly missing a week of his life. He has apparently written a story called Departure within this time, but the weird thing is that all the events of this novel are coming true before Wake's very eyes. Now, the gameplay of Alan Wake is split into two, albeit two very unbalanced parts. In the day, you'll walk around and talk to NPCs progressing the story. However, this makes up around 5% of the actual game. The rest is set at night and has you fighting against the enemies of the game known as the Taken. Now, the combat in this game is different to a lot of third-person shooters, with a heavy emphasis on the contrast of light and dark. The enemies can only stay in the dark, and so your flashlight becomes the most important weapon of the game. What you have to do is aim the flashlight at the Taken and wait for the darkness that surrounds them to burn off. Then you can kill them with a variety of conventional weapons such as pistols, shotguns, and a hunting rifle. There is also a number of other weapons such as flashbangs. In other games these would be used to stun your foes, but in a game where the enemies are weak to light, they act as grenades, killing all nearby Taken. There are also flares that can be used as a temporary light source when things get rough, and a flare gun which acts as this game's RPG. Saying this though, the combat, although good, can and will become more of an obstacle towards the end of the game, and you'll find yourself wanting it to be over just to see progression within the story. The game is also extremely linear, and you'll be spending most of the 10-hour campaign following the clearly defined path with occasional detouring for one of the game's billions of collectibles. Graphics and presentation. The graphics in Alan Wake are some of the best you'll see on the 360, with special attention directed towards the lighting, which is to be expected from a game that its main focus is light. Textures are good and environments look stellar. Character models are also fantastic, but facial animation is where the game falters. Sometimes characters will be trying to convey serious emotions, and you can hear it in their voices, but their faces are less expressive than puppets. Funnily enough, this is one of the issues that Remedy have stated they will be fixing in their upcoming DLC. As mentioned before, the voice acting is great, as is the audio overall, with a killer licensed and unlicensed soundtrack that really complements the feel of Bright Falls and the North Pacific as a whole. Alan Wake is presented in a television show series manner, with each episode beginning with a previously on and finishing on a clear cliffhanger, which I feel is a very nice touch and a good homage to clear inspirations from shows such as Twin Peaks. Now, the story is easily the best part of Alan Wake. Every episode leaves you begging for more, and each twist has you hooked until the very end. And as mentioned before, the story is so good that the gameplay does actually become an obstacle and leaves you kind of wishing it was a television series or even a movie. Sadly, the game ends on a massive cliffhanger, which, although is extremely annoying, does leave a lot of room for future DLC episodes, with the first one being announced for the 27th of July. Overall, Alan Wake is a great game, with an interesting premise, excellent story, and refreshing gameplay. It does leave you wanting more, and I can't wait for where Remedy will take us next. Overall, I give Alan Wake a 9.0.